Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're gonna be talking about Oscar De La Hoya absolutely cooking Dana White over the Muhammad Ali Act and exactly what's going on over there in California. We're gonna speak about the 154-pound Ring Magazine rankings. Then, of course, we're gonna get into some open boxing topics. You feel what I'm saying? But before we get into that, man, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'll be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,200 mark. About to hit that 3,300 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation in the mob for making this possible. I see my boy Yasir Ali in the building. What's going on, brothers and sisters? I had a great day overall, man. You know what I mean? Good day at work for the most part. Went, picked my son up. You know what I mean? He's always in good spirits, which is a beautiful thing. Got to see my mom. You know what I mean? I went to the gym, got some good sparring in. You know what I mean? Just put my son to sleep about an hour ago. So everything is going well, man. I hope everything is going well with y'all as well. You feel what I mean? Let's go ahead and get the likes up. Let me see where the likes is at. Let's see where the likes is at, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to speak about De La Hoya, bro. He absolutely snapped on Dana White. De La Hoya, man, I like this this new Oscar De La Hoya. You feel what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya, when he was coming up and trying to preserve his reputation, he stood to himself and, he kept that nice guy act. But, once he, retired and, he didn't really care about keeping a positive image anymore, Oscar De La Hoya has been an absolute savage. Whether you agree with him, disagree with him, whatever the case is, he been out here showing who he really is, and I can appreciate that more than a motherfucker who hides who he is. You know what I mean? To me, that's bitch shit. You feel me? So, yeah, man. Oscar De La Hoya out here talking crazy. But we about to see whether we agree with him or not. Carl in the building. What up, Carl Arline? What's going on, brother? Coffee Plant in the building. What up? The Stranger. He said, "Congrats on reaching 3,200, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? That's just that's just a small milestone. You feel me? We're gonna hit that 4K mark. We definitely gonna hit that 4K mark. Trying to hit that joint by the end of the year. We got some time. Well, we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying for sure. Consistency is key. Discipline is key with this YouTube shit. I'm starting to peep. Everybody timing is different. You feel me? J Cash, what up? Coffee Plant says subscriber only mode. You already know. You already know. RC, what up? The Stranger said that's okay as long as it keeps growing. That's the plan, brother. You know what I mean? We getting there. We getting somewhere. Eugene, what up? What's going on, Eugene? You've been hella consistent lately, man. Shout out to the boy Eugene, whether we agree or not. You know what I mean? Jay Cash said, I think Oscar cooked. We gonna talk about it. Mastermind is in the building. What's going on, Mastermind? How we feeling? Yeah, I mean, I might have to bring you up in a little bit, Mastermind. We gotta talk some boxing. Oh man. J Cash said he said some shit I've said in our group chat before. Yeah, I remember when you were speaking your mind and shit. You were saying some valid shit, and yeah, Oscar sounded like he going hand in hand with what you saying. So if you got J Cash saying it, and then we got a boxing legend saying it, and J Cash, he be tuned in with the boxing shit, so he not like this dude who out of touch. Like, he really be understanding what be going on. He tune in to Mazuma TV all the time. He ain't got no choice but to be informed of what's going on in the boxing world. You see what I'm saying? Then we got Oscar De La Hoya, who's, actively in the boxing world. And they saying the same shit. So what's that letting you know? There's something going on. There's some goofy shit going on, man. There's culture vultures that's attempting to infiltrate boxing, and they contributing to the dysfunction of boxing when we should be reversing the curse. We should be, improving the sport. You know what I mean? So we gonna talk about it. The Stranger said, not that goofy again. Damn. He said this channel rock. I appreciate that, Eugene. Thank you, man. Yeah, listen, man. Like if we got a difference of opinion, sorry. You know what I mean? Somebody gonna be proven right, somebody gonna be proven wrong at the end of the day. It is what it is. You feel me? Um, like I said, as long as it's respectful, we straight. I don't never have a problem disagreeing with somebody. Or unless you just making some goofy ass points that ain't got no substance. It's like, all right, my nigga, you gotta go. You feel me? Because we grown. You know what I mean? We got motherfuckers in here that's teenagers. We got motherfuckers that's in their early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s. We got motherfuckers that be in their 60s in this joint. You feel me? Ain't no reason why you at the age that you are and you just spewing bullshit. Like, motherfucker, when you become an adult, man, motherfuckers need to back up shit that they saying with facts. Motherfuckers need to back up the shit that they saying with, credible resources. You feel me? Not being in your feelings and all that bullshit. You feel me? Tell them come back a better nigga. Facts. But we definitely about to get to talking, man. Shout out to the 16 people that's in the building. We gonna continue cooking. You know what I mean? We just gonna let these people come in as they may. But go ahead, like the video. If you're capable, share the video. Let's get the likes up, y'all. Let's get the likes up. So there's been a report going on out here, man. I actually want to bring up this report right here. So this is according to Yahoo Sports, y'all. So before we get into Oscar De La Hoya absolutely cooking up on Dana White, I want to inform y'all what was going on. And according to Yahoo Sports, says California votes to support TKO-backed boxing bill despite surge of opposition from ex-UFC fighters. Now, shout out to, I think his name is Darshan Desai. You know what I mean? Shout out to him for keeping us informed. The California State Athletic Commission unanimously voted to endorse the Muhammad Ali American Boxing Revival Act at a Wednesday morning meeting following yet another contentious and extended session of public comment. The vote was 6-0 in support of the bill. Says California was initially forced to postpone its vote to support the Ali Revival Act following a September 8th meeting in which all 12 of the public speakers criticized the act and the monopolizing power it can hand Zuffa Boxing, the promotional group formed in March by TKO executive CEO Dana White, Nick Khan, and Turki Al-Sheikh. Let me see. The TKO-backed bill would allow for Zuffa to create unified boxing organizations within the sport. Under the legislation, UBOs, which is the Unified Boxing Organizations, would be allowed to run ranking systems, award UBO titles, and organize events. In essence, promoters would be able to promote fights for titles and rankings, which they also control, much like how the UFC is run. We'll be seeing 12 fights a year. White said he has plans to create a Zuffa boxing belt rather than recognize any of the four major sanctioning bodies employed in boxing today. The UFC CEO, however, will need the Ali Revival Act to pass in order to do this. Let me see. Following California's decision to table its support for the bill last month, the commission appointed a 2-person subcommittee to review the bill and the criticism surrounding it so they could provide the commission with feedback for a meeting in December. However, this did not turn out to be the case, and the subcommittee process was significantly sped up. The subcommittee met 4 times in the past month to discuss the bill and meet with key stakeholders, and they formally recommended that the California State Athletic California State Athletic Commission support the legislation at Wednesday's meeting. Let me see. Says, and this is Nick Khan speaking. He says, my experience of boxing, I believe, has given me a front row seat to see the business that is stagnant on its best day and precipitously degenerating on its normal days. It's fragmented business driven by organizers who lack any modern sense of driving media rights dollars, gate revenue, sponsorship, merchandise, or any other revenue categories that drive athlete pay in every major sport outside of boxing. Let me see. So it says HBO got out, Showtime got out, ESPN got out because the current system leads to a series of one-off events with organizers that are clueless about building fighter stories in the modern world of media. Let's see. I feel like this article is like beating around the bush in terms of what this revival act is going, like the changes that it's going to be making. Let me see. Let me see. So this is the important part right here. Wait. There's somebody by the name of Gabriel, a 17-year-old amateur boxer, called the legislation a slap to the face to fighters who fought so hard to Ali, who fought hard for Ali Act protections to independent sanctioning bodies and to Muhammad Ali himself. How dare they put a name on a bill to circumvent the Ali Act? It's a quality point. Let me see the comments real quick. What's going on, Marissa? You notice Oscar had no energy for Booster Eddie this Thursday. I did notice that. We're going to talk about it, brother. Trust me. He said, get that diabetic Pillsbury Doughboy out of boxing. What the fuck he trying to remove the Ali Act for? So he could be able to take boxing over like how he did in the UFC. It's exactly what he's trying to do. What he did in MMA, that's what he's trying to do in boxing. That's what he's trying to do. Yeah, Sean Sattel called this out from the beginning. And Dana White, he the type dude that he get rarely emotional when he get asked questions that he don't like being in the hot seat. And when he gets in the hot seat, he gets very emotional. You know what I mean? Tries to be condescending towards media, act like, they're nobodies. But when they're kissing his ass, you know what I mean? It's all love and, it's all love. But the moment he gets asked some tough questions, he don't be knowing. He get all red and shit. He gets so mad. Plus, this was superbly fuck over the average boxer who has to work the 9 to 5 on the side like you and I to make men's meat. We're gonna continue reading up on this. So let me see. The UBO model. The UBO model is a circumvention for TKO in the UFC. Under this UBO model, fighters signed to the UBO will waive the right to a free market with co-promotion, which is a restraint of trade. So basically, if y'all follow through with this bill and let this shit happen, you know what I mean? There's no free market. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be no co-promotion or any of that. They will waive the right to financial transparency and non-coercive contracts and their right to independent ranking with the title not being controlled by the promoter, along with the other rights the Ali Act provides. If this passes, it will monopolize the boxing market, and fighters will have no choice but to sign into this exploitative system to make a name for themselves. This kid, if this is Gabriel still talking, he's absolutely cooking. He's absolutely cooking. So he's pretty much saying that, like if y'all really follow through with this bill, there's gonna be no more, independent moves over in boxing. It's like you pretty much gonna be, forcing these fighters to, sign with this one place, and they're just gonna be stuck here when they should be given, freedom to go as they wish. With this, modification in the Ali Act, I guess you would call it, it's gonna put TKO in a position where they can monopolize the sport and, overall just take it over. That's what it's looking like. So, like I said, what he's trying to do in boxing, what Dana White's attempting to do in boxing is literally copy and paste from what he was able to accomplish in MMA. You know what I mean? With the UFC. because there is some companies out there that do UFC fights like Bellator and one championship like but the UFC is just on a totally different level. You know what I mean? And with the history they've been able to accumulate throughout time, it's like, the greatest mixed martial artists came up out of there. So everybody feels like that's the place that they need to go. Let's continue. We almost done here. It says the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act that introduced in 2000 gives boxers the right to know how much revenue is coming into the event they are fighting on, including television rights fees and the gate receipts. This gives headlining fighters an idea of whether they're being fairly compensated by their promoter and prevents them from being exploited or underpaid. With that being known right there, the fact that, these guys are attempting to change this so boxers won't have this should be a huge red flag for boxers all throughout the sport. They're literally trying to take away you're right and know how much revenue these events are making, television rights, and they're trying to take away how much they don't even want you to know how much they're generating gate wise. They pretty much want you to take this money and mind your fucking business and don't worry about how much we make off of you, even if it's more than what you made. This gives headline and fighters an idea within press. Yes, and like if you're a boxer and you're supporting this, you're pretty much being okay with being exploited and possibly being, underpaid, having an absolute ceiling on your pay. Like that shit is insane to me. Moving on, he says, in the UFC, however, it is not uncommon for the majority of the revenue to go to the company rather than the talent. Fighters in the UFC are not aware how much money an event makes because there is no Ali Act for MMA, and they are often thought to be undercompensated compared to boxers. At a high level, no shit. Somebody by the name of Matt Brown says, it feels like this is some sort of joke, like you guys are supporting this no matter what. I don't know if y'all are bought and paid for or whatever, like John McCarthy. What the hell? Nobody's ever been on. I fought for 15 years. No one ever fought for me. My manager didn't fight for me. I tried to negotiate, but no one ever worked for me. That was before, but I don't feel like. Okay. Damn. Despite the majority of comments again being against the Ali Revival Act, California ultimately voted to throw its support behind it. So California basically said, fuck what y'all talking about. We're going to vote in favor of this bill because we know that, if these fighters don't know how much they're getting paid, we could, hustle these motherfuckers pretty much. Yep, no boxer agreed to this. They're trying to sneak and pass the bill. What was very concerning about reading this was how, they were supposed to, they was pretty much supposed to take their time, throughout this process, but, they just rushed it all of a sudden. So I want to ask this, and I would like, what's the point of these people actually coming and speaking out? And the article admits that pretty much everyone that spoke out was against it. What's the point of even hearing them out if y'all going to do whatever the fuck y'all want to do anyway? Like, I would look at all 6 of those people that voted and just look at them as if they corrupt, because y'all know that's some bullshit. You know that fighters get fucked over at the end of the day, and y'all still in support of it. It's almost like motherfuckers gave y'all payola, put a couple dollars in your pocket to, look out for them. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like they gave y'all a couple dollars for y'all to look out for them. Like y'all niggas took some hush money or something. Absolute corruption, Carl. That's what it is at its finest. J. Cash said it's important to remember as well how much potential influence a state like California has. That's a fact. California is a very influential state, to the point where Vegas might even look at it a certain way. Then maybe New York will start to look at it a certain way. And once these commissioners start, leaning towards the worse is going to get. And for real, if California really is like really backing the Muhammad Ali X, like this new Muhammad Ali X play, I hope no big event. I hope no boxers go to California to box. Take this shit over to the East Coast, y'all, or just stay the fuck away from California. Period. Vegas, Texas, New York, shit, Jersey, Philly, Florida. Take it all over there, bro. Like, if these commissions gonna be backing this corrupt bullshit, then they don't need we don't need our business there. No big boxing events in Cali. Facts. Stay far away from Cali. Right. That's what it's looking like to me. Because they showing you we don't give a fuck about fighters having transparency. Cali's letting y'all know we don't care if y'all get exploited. We don't care if y'all get underpaid. We don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck that you ain't getting transparency. We're gonna get paid well at the end of the day, and that's all that matters to us. Fuck the fighter. Okay, so if it's fuck the fighter, then it's fuck you, and we should not be having any events over there anymore. Not any big events. If a fighter is okay with going to Cali to this point to fight, they're a fool. They're a fucking fool. Straight like that. Especially if like you a headline star. Like, I know Canelo looking at this like, oh, well, shit, fuck Cali. Bud, I hope you're looking at it like, all right, fuck Cali. This shit is absolutely disgusting. So now this transitions on to, hold on. Oh, shit. I hope this transitions to, this is going to transition to, sorry about that, Oscar De La Hoya and what he had to say. Shout out to the GOAT, Oscar De La Hoya, man. Shout out to the weird legend, Oscar De La Hoya. Shout out to the weird legend Oscar De La Hoya for doing that clapback Thursday and pretty much dedicating it to Dana White and this Muhammad Ali bullshit. This Muhammad Ali, no disrespect to Muhammad Ali, but I'm talking about this revival act bullshit that they got going on and then naming it after Muhammad Ali. Absolutely disgusting, by the way. I know Muhammad Ali wouldn't be approving of this whatsoever, but we're about to hear Oscar De La Hoya's words, man. And this was like an unedited version. So this is just Oscar De La Hoya just speaking from the heart. So let's hear what he got to say.
Back Thursday. So something happened yesterday that the entire boxing community is questioning. The California State Athletic Commission held an under-the-radar hearing in which they voted to approve the proposed changes to the Muhammad Ali Act. TKO has been begging for these changes so they can fuck fighters over with their new league. Fighters and managers called into the first hearing back in September and expressed major concern about the changes being made to the act. So the commission said they would discuss it further in December. But suddenly, they voted and approved it yesterday, ignoring all public voices. I am so...
That is funny as shit. They pretty much backdoored the people and did this shit behind people's back just so they could get away with it. They said that they was going to think about this in December, and then y'all fuck around and pull this shit off yesterday. Nigga, it's October. So you had motherfuckers thinking that they had to wait a couple more months. Whole time y'all making deals behind the scenes so the people that are vocal don't get to say shit to y'all. But even then, there was people there disputing it, and they still voted in favor for it. So this shit just sound like like Southwest Dice said, a under the radar backdoor type of move. Very, very snakish activities going on in Cali, bro.
Disappointed in them. It looks like MMA Players Association is so outraged that they're going to sue over this shady behavior, according to their comments on Twitter. Now, this is the same group who won a $375 million previous suit against the UFC for treating the fighters like shit. I mean, no other promoter has tried to change this act because there's no reason to. We believe in fair business. But you have these TKO scumbags who needed to change. I mean, look at their plans. Dana said openly that they will be honoring one belt, their own belt. They want.
Hold up, real quick, because as he's talking, I'm starting to get more frustrated. Because unfortunately, he's speaking facts. I wonder what Turkey Al-Sheikh thinks about this. Has anybody ever asked Turkey Al-Sheikh about the Muhammad Ali Act and the company that he's funding is going against the Muhammad Ali Act? And at the very beginning, Turkey Al-Sheikh was playing it, pretty much saying that he's for the fighter. I mean, he's like boxing savior. He's the biggest figure in boxing. He's gonna be the one to fix boxing, and all these big fights are happening because of Turkey Al-Sheikh, blah blah blah. Whole time while y'all praising and giving this nigga a hand job. Of course, he's in the age of 86. He putting the bread up, so he's the master. For real. The motherfucker who puts the bread up is the boss. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I don't give a fuck if their name not attached to it. If you putting the money up and the motion, that's where the motion come from. Who's backing y'all play financially? It's Turkey Al-Sheikh. So Turkey not gonna put his money anywhere where he doesn't know what's going on. Of course he's in on it. So to get back to my point, I'm under, while y'all was giving motherfucking Turkey Al-Sheikh a hand job, praising how good he is, he working behind the scenes with the biggest fucking snake in combat sports and Dana White, who he just said lost a lawsuit for $300 and something plus $1 million for unfair treatment of fighters. He giving Dana White a bag to try to monopolize boxing and cut off transparency from boxers and leave. And this the guy they said was pro box. This somebody who was pro fighter. He's giving Dana White the money necessary to potentially exploit and underpay fighters. That's what Turkey Al-Sheikh is doing right now. But y'all want us to believe that he's a boxing fan? Y'all want us to believe that he's for boxing? Nigga, if you back at anything that goes against the financial exploitation and underpaying of fighters, you are a fucking op, just like everybody else. How can that's like me saying that I'm anti-gang, like I'm anti-gun violence. Put the guns down. Man, stop the violence, increase the peace, and all this shit. I could be preaching this all day, but low-key behind the scenes, I'm putting guns out into the streets. I'm giving niggas money so they could buy guns and get the murder rate up in this motherfucker. How would I sound? Would it sound like I'm for peace, or am I just fueling the fucking madness that's currently going on out here in these streets? I would be a fucking hypocrite, right? So just like I've been telling y'all this whole time about Turkey Al-Sheikh with the Jerron and the situation, this dude Turkey Al-Sheikh is the biggest fucking liar. He's a fucking rat bastard. Looking back, to be honest, Teofimo Lopez calling this nigga a dictator aged pretty fucking well. Not for his pockets, but in terms of who the fuck Turkey Al-Sheikh is, dictator, that sounds about right. Sounds about right. T.O. was kind of on point with that. Now, he used that to get himself out of a fight, so he's pussy. But that description of Turkey is pretty fucking spot on. Remember Turkey Al-Sheikh? I seen this on Twitter too, and I wanted to bring this up as well. I didn't even think I was going to talk too much about Turkey, but when Oscar's talking, it's like really, really fucking triggering me, right? Yeah, it's still fuck T.O. We not praising T.O. at all, brother. Trust me, Southwest, we good, brother. Trust me. I'm not bigging up T.O. in any way. I'm just saying that comment that he made wasn't too far off. But remember what Turkey Al-Sheikh was saying, how the zone's not going to do pay-per-view anymore and fucking pay-per-view is dead and, from now on, starting in what he said, starting in November, there'll be no more pay-per-views. The Zone and it's not a bad price. I ain't tripping. Not tripping. I'll pay for it. 25 euros for that November 22nd card ain't bad. But you said it was free, nigga. You said ain't no more pay-per-views. So if that's the case, why the fuck is the Zone selling it for 25 euros? I don't know how much that is in American money, but let's say that's probably like $30. I don't know. Between 20 to 30. The rate changes all the time. That's $30 more, $25 to $30 more than you said. Eugene Pearson says, I don't know. I disagree. I feel as if they're trying to cater towards the fans and eliminating all the other promotions and having one and not getting robbed by scared fighters. Bro, they're the ones that's going to be doing the robbing. What are you talking about? Not getting how can a boxer rob them when they're the ones that's in control of what they pay fighters? How can they rob? How can a fighter rob them? And why would you want to eliminate all other promotions? That's like the textbook definition of a monopoly. Are you okay with them eliminating all the different promotions? How about them eliminate trying to make sanctioning bodies non-independent sanctioning bodies? Yeah, Turkey Al-Sheikh, and I told y'all, I said there's pros and cons to everybody because everybody made it seem like Turkey couldn't do no wrong. And I'm like, bro, there's shit to like about people in boxing, like especially promoters. And there's things to not like about them. You can name a promoter right now, and I'll tell you. I'm sure there's some snake shit they done did. And I told y'all, to really thrive in business overall, you got to have some snake in you. Damn near. Look at all the top billionaires. They don't all do some sneaky shit to get to the top. You feel me? It's the same way in boxing. So think about it. Devin Haney career chasing greatness from promotion to promotion won't be possible anymore. Yeah. Yeah. What they're attempting to put in motion right now would make it'll put Devin in a situation where he'll have no choice but to sign with them. That's what it is. They're attempting to monopolize the game and exploit fighters. That's what it is. And the fact that I see why Oscar is so disappointed in Cali, because he's from Cali. That's where he started his boxing career. So for him to do everything he's done in boxing and have a shit ton of fights in Cali and promote a shit ton of fights in Cali, to then hear that they're going against, standing for what they standing for, pretty much, standing for fucking over fighters, it got to be very disappointing if you Oscar De La Hoya. Boxing fans overall, but especially Oscar De La Hoya, who's an all-time great, legendary fighter that comes out of California. But let me play this shit back a little bit to hear the rest of Oscar's story. My fault, y'all.
Try to change this act? Because there's no reason to. We believe in fair business. But you have these TKO scumbags who need it to change. I mean, look at their plans. Dana said openly that they will be honoring one belt, their own belt. They want to eliminate all other belts, the rich boxing history that comes along with the entire sport. They want to change the size and shape of the ring with their own rules. What the fuck is next? Tigers and lions chained to the fucking canvas? I mean, Dana, look, he'll go to his buddy, President Trump, and have him push these changes to the Ali Act through. So much for the American way and the First Amendment. I guess it doesn't apply here. This is a huge red flag for fighters and managers because the writing is on the wall. TKO is actively changing legislature so they can openly fuck fighters over.
Yep.
Fighters will be stuck in a dictatorship with no voices or rights as TKO takes all your money, just like the UFC has done. So Dana, you don't know shit about boxing. You don't give a shit about our history. You give less of a shit about the fighters. Your tiny t-shirt looks like shit, and everyone thinks you're a piece of shit. So Dana, fuck you. Now remember, kids, you're never a hater if you only speak the fact.
Oscar's a funny motherfucker, boy. He was there. He put a lot of emphasis on that. Fuck you. Your t-shirt looks like shit, Dana. Yo. Man. That was fucking hilarious. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm gonna run that back because I really enjoyed that. That was really well said by Oscar. I can't really find anything to disagree with, and that's pretty fucking rare. Especially coming from Oscar, but shit, let's play this back one more time.
Back Thursday. So something happened yesterday that the entire boxing community is questioning. The California State Athletic Commission held an under-the-radar hearing in which they voted to approve the proposed changes to the Muhammad Ali Act. TKO has been begging for these changes so they can fuck fighters over with their new league. Fighters and managers called into the first hearing back in September and expressed major concern about the changes being made to the act. So the commission said they would discuss it further in December. But suddenly, they voted and approved it yesterday, ignoring all public voices. I am so disappointed in them. It looks like MMA Players Association is so outraged that they're going to sue over this shady behavior, according to their comments on Twitter. Now, this is the same group who won a $375 million previous suit against the UFC for treating the fighters like shit. I mean, no other promoter has tried to change this act because there's no reason to. We believe in fair business. But you have these TKO scumbags who need it to change. I mean, look at their plans. Dana said openly that they will be honoring one belt, their own belt. They want to eliminate all other belts, the rich boxing history that comes along with the entire sport. They want to change the size and shape of the ring with their own rules. What the fuck is next? Tigers and lions chained to the fucking canvas? I mean, Dana, look, he'll go to his buddy, President Trump, and have him push these changes to the Ali Act through. So much for the American way and the First Amendment. I guess it doesn't apply here. This is a huge red flag for fighters and managers because the writing is on the wall. TKO is actively changing legislature so they can openly fuck fighters over. Fighters will be stuck in a dictatorship with no voices or rights as TKO takes all your money, just like the UFC has done. So Dana, you don't know shit about boxing. You don't give a shit about our history. You give less of a shit about the fighters. Your tiny t-shirt looks like shit, and everyone thinks you're a piece of shit. So Dana, fuck you. Now remember, kids, you're never a hater if you only speak the fact.
Fuck you. Oh man, that might have been one of my favorite Clapback Thursdays, bro. Really hearing it, it definitely sounded like De La Hoya was reading something, but regardless, it was well said. Neek J says, I wonder why Oscar and the other promoters or any boxers are not more engaged about knowing when these hearings happen. Well, Neek J, I don't know if you heard, but they said that they were pushing this back to December. because they had a hearing about it once, but they had so many people going against it that they fell back and was like, you know what, we're gonna bring this back up in December. But all of a sudden, they set up a hearing that it seemed like nobody was aware of, or most people wasn't aware of, and they made a decision yesterday, basically behind everybody's back. That's what I just read on Yahoo Sports, and that's what Oscar De La Hoya just let it be known. So they did some slick shit behind the scenes. Didn't really promote it, kept it low key. I guess very few people heard about it, and even then, with a lot of people not knowing, those people that still was disputing it, former UFC fighters, amateur boxers, guys who haven't even turned pro yet, are speaking out against this whole situation. They're like, who gives a fuck about what y'all talking about? I approve. And the fact that it was 6-0, it's like, I would like, something just don't sound right. The fact that all 6 people who had a vote approved of it, when everybody who spoke out against it, it's fucking crazy. It's almost like these niggas was paid, like they got handed a couple dollars and was like, yo, just approve this for us. I wouldn't be surprised with the type of money they about to be pumping into TKO, with Turki Al-Sheikh having fucking a unlimited fucking bank account. I wouldn't be surprised if the motherfuckers got paid off to vote in their favor, bro. That's just how I see the situation. Blood Rush Entertainment says, seeing what's happening now, I wish we never let Turki into boxing. He uses boxing cards as eye candy to eventually grow his influence and take over. The glamorous fight cards were a trap. I see exactly what you're saying. That's actually a beautiful fucking comment that you put right there. Maybe that was bait to get boxing fans, into his hands. And once he got to where he wanted, then he started putting things in the boxing that a majority of boxing fans are, against. You know what I mean? And there was people that was like, oh, man, this is fun. Like, at first, I'm seeing people, back in the whole Dana White situation. Oh, well, Dana White brought structure to MMA. He could probably bring that same structure to boxing. The whole time, these guys are trying to change a fucking law to where fighters who are now being told, like, yo, this event, they can sit, boxers right now can sit down and be like, yeah, they can ask to open up the books. And when they see the books, it's like, all right, this event, the gate did 3 million. You know what I mean? We generated, 20 million overall, blah, 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 blah. And from there, they'll be able to know, whether they deserve to get paid more or whatever the case is, right? With this change in the Muhammad Ali Act, them boxers could try to sit down and be like, yo, how much this event generating, man? I need to know so that way I could, have, a good idea of what I should be looking for to get paid. Or they ain't none of your business. But I'm the one fighting. It don't matter. Legally, we don't have to tell you. And that just leaves fighters fucked over. Just like these UFC guys do. That's why these motherfuckers got to retire and transition to boxing so they can get the money that they've been missing out on their whole career. Nick J says, well, this is what happens when folks sit at home and not vote at all or vote for the blatant, unqualified fool. It trickles down into everything. Shit, I see. I can't even be mad at that comment, man. And I was somebody who didn't vote. So, shit, I'm definitely feeling the effects of it, man. Voting is important. And shit, and that's another thing. Them motherfuckers, they got Donald Trump around their finger, cuz. Around their finger. You think Dana White been praising Donald Trump all these years because that's really his friend? They might actually be friends behind the scenes, but you know what these business motherfuckers do. They use each other. If they can't benefit off of you, they won't even have you around. They like to have motherfuckers around them that they could benefit off of. You feel what I'm saying? That they could, they could help. He could scratch your back. You know what I mean? He scratch yours type situation. He kept Donald Trump around because he knew that if he needed some shit done behind the scenes in order to make his business more secure, even more powerful, Donald Trump could tap in on the politics side and make that shit happen. And that's what it's looking like is happening right now. I would love to know Donald Trump's, somebody who claimed to be a boxing fan, who was at these Mike Tyson fights and was, having fights at his Trump Towers and shit like that. I wonder what he thinks about a change in the Muhammad Ali Act. Is he for it? So if that's the case, bro, boxing might really be going through a drastic change that nobody's going to be able to fix for real. And I was seeing Bernard Hopkins was on that Andre Ward interview and was saying how, he went over there and he fought for, transparency for fighters and all that shit. We need you back. Why are you so silent? You went out of your way to destroy Don King however you could, and you said, you was a strong advocate for the Muhammad Ali Act, and you talk about how you was getting fucked over early in your career. Now what's happening, this situation is coming back around, and we need your courageous voice. Your courageous voice to keep things where they've been since 2000. J Cash says UFC fighters, UFC guys have to box, bare knuckle, dirty box, everything just to stay afloat because Dana be hitting their paychecks raw, no Vaseline. Facts. And niggas should have knew Dana White was a fucking snake when he signed that Reebok deal. When he signed that Reebok deal and no fighters could have any endorsements on their trunks and they missed out on millions of dollars worth of paydays, niggas should have knew Dana White was a sucker right there. Big Soldier MX, what's going on, brother? No, we was already talking about that. We was talking about how Turkey was saying, starting November. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. No pay-per-view for November. Whole time this motherfucker niggas got to pay for that Devin Haney Brian Norman card. Yeah, I ain't tripping. Like I said, this is a great fucking card. Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes, fucking Devin Haney, Brian Norman, Benavidez, Yard. There's some good shit going on that card. So I wouldn't mind paying for that because those are all quality fights. I ain't tripping. But the problem is you said you was going to do one thing and then you do another. Just like how you say you don't do charities, but you've let fighters have tune-ups on your cards and you paid them a shit ton of money in order to do so. Bella said pay-per-view. Oh my fucking God. Yep. Remember, Bella? I know you remember. You've been around. Remember when he said pay-per-views are done after November? Or started in November, pay-per-view is done. The pay-per-view is dead, blah, blah, blah. Well, apparently, November 22nd will be a pay-per-view card. The Benavidez card isn't getting promoted at all. I see them showing like little training clips and shit. Like I seen Brian Norman hitting the bag. I seen Devin Haney doing like his strength, like his explosive drills. I seen Benavidez hitting the pads and stuff like I'm seeing little shit like that. I seen Anthony Yard like doing pad work with his coach trying to knock him the fuck out in the ring and shit like that. Like I'm seeing little stuff like that, but yeah, very little promotion. Very little promotion. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Man. I feel like they could be doing a lot more in terms of promotion, but I guess since these guys getting paid a good amount of money, they don't feel that they feel like, they ain't got to promote. I don't know. The card like 40 days away. And what they're going to do is they're going to push all the promotion. They're going to procrastinate and their promotion is gonna start the week of, like 2 weeks before the fight. That's when they're gonna start promoting. Then the week of the fight, they're gonna swarm us with all this shit, and then they'll be giving the fight. George said, "Do you think there is too many boxers for there to be one belt per division?" See, the thing is that there's one belt per division, right? I, you know, something something in me wants to say that one belt definitely isn't enough for as many people that be, because like I said, boxing is not like the UFC where they have a certain amount of people on the roster. Boxing is the sport. It's not a company. It's the sport, and they may be well over 100 motherfuckers, in one country that fights in the same weight class. You feel what I mean? So it's like, and that's putting a lot of. So the motherfucker who's the world champion, he gonna have to be fighting hella regularly. You know what I mean? To satisfy all the other opponents that's looking to stay active and fight for world titles. That'd be a huge line. Motherfuckers will never get their title shot if it was just one belt. And, having all these guys, just competing for one belt. I don't have any issue with 4 major titles. I don't. As long as these champions, they grab their titles and then they defend and they fight against other champions. I don't mind it. I don't see anything wrong with the 4 major belts at all. And I like the fact that they independent, even though they corrupt in their own ways. One belt means when somebody loses, don't clown them. Well, that's not practical for boxing nowadays, though. Big Soldier, it's not. Motherfuckers get clowned every day for losing, bro. But like I said, like the UFC, they'll probably have 30 guys in one division. You feel what I mean? So it's easier to have one belt. It's easier to have one belt when you only got 30 guys in a weight class. So, the bottom of the division can fight each other, and you know what I mean? They'll eventually, these guys will start to, get rid of each other, start to get to the top, and then they could crack the top 10. And then after that, they could face a champion or whatever the case is. In boxing, there's literally hundreds of people in one weight class that's looking to get opportunity at one of those belts. Just make 4 different avenues for these 100 so people. Let them get each other out of the way, and whoever, raises to the top and become champion, then the other champions face each other. Shout out to Bella Faith in the building. Money makes boxing dirty. Well, you can't have boxing without money. You can't have boxing without money. These niggas ain't gonna fight for free, bro. You think they're gonna beat the dog shit out of each other and fuck up their health for charity? It's not happening. Boxing makes everything dirty, if you haven't noticed. Wherever there's a large amount of money at, there's some corruption going on. There's some dirt going on. Trust me. Turkey be bipolar. No, he's just a fucking liar. That's all it is. Bella Face said, "Okay, I just looked it up. $60 isn't crazy. I thought they said 25 euros. I guess it's cheaper in Europe. Shit. $60 isn't crazy, but it's still the principle. Turkey. That's my point. That's my point, Bella. It is the principle. It is the principle. You can't say that you're going to be moving this way. You know what I mean? And right when he says starting November, no more pay-per-view. Nigga, they fight on November 22nd and there's pay-per-view. So either you or DAZN lied, or maybe it was just both of y'all. And you said pay-per-view is dead. Meanwhile, your card is on a pay-per-view. Sound like pay-per-view is alive and well. J Cash snapping in the comments. He said, "Start in November. After my pay-per-view in November, there will be no more pay-per-view in November." I mean, that's November 22nd. That's the end of the month anyway. But pay-per-view in December. No pay-per-view in 2026. But on January 2nd, we will have pay-per-view. Like, what the fuck? He said, "Fuck out of here, Turkey. Turkey be crap." Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, I was on the Turkey like early. I was catching him in all these little lies and shit. And I'm like, once I started to get pissed off with Turkey when he told Canelo not to bring the belts on stage and shit. And then once the fans and the sanctioning body started pressing Turkey, Turkey was like, "Oh, he started backpedaling. No, we're gonna work with all the major sanctioning bodies." And then remember he said he was gonna crush all the promoters, and all the promoters said something to him. Then he was like, "No, I'm gonna work with promoters." Like he'll say one thing to show who he truly is. What Turkey be doing is temperature checks. He check niggas' temperature. He see what he put out. He sees he be trying to figure out what he can say and what he cannot say. You know what I mean? And Turkey, one of them motherfuckers that, he'll say something, the kitchen get a little bit hot, and now he trying to find his way outside. He trying to find the exit because that kitchen too hot. That's what it is. He trying to air that bitch out. He opened the door and let that bitch air out. That's what he be doing. Turkey like that white boy in the group. They be trying to see how much he could get away with when he around his black friends. So what would you guys do if I said nigga? Beat you the fuck up? Oh no, I'd never say it, but I was just wondering. That's Turkey. Turkey the type motherfucker, he be having motherfuckers kissing his ass and all that, so that he could feel like he'd say whatever he want. Then when boxing fans started coming at him, then he switched the script up. He one of them. Mazuma looked like he related to Turkey. Damn, Quan, that's crazy. You trying to say I look like I'm A-Rab? Wait till I grow my beard out. I'm gonna look like Marky Al-Sheik. You heard? Let me tell you something. That's what I'm gonna be on. J Cash said Turkey finna start icing out promoters and managers and working directly with fighters only. He's gonna funnel them into their league contractually. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Well, he was already trying to do that, J Cash. He was already trying to do that. To be real, Turkey never wanted to start working with promoters in the first place, but then he started to realize that he couldn't. He couldn't avoid the promoters. He couldn't avoid the managers, because these managers and these promoters, they had contracts with these fighters. So you just can't get them out of the picture. You just can't ignore them. Yeah, you could talk to the fighter directly, but at the end of the day, because that fighter has a contract with the manager and the promoter, you can only say and do so much with that fighter. As soon as business gets involved, you have to include them. You feel what I mean? So yeah, he been trying to do that. When he first started trying to come around, he didn't want to talk to promoters. He wanted to talk directly with the fighters. That's when everybody was like, "Oh man, he's pro fighter. Oh, he's pro fighter." Okay, but you're trying to contribute to something that would ultimately destroy the fighter or really fuck over the fighter. So how could you say you're pro fighter? If we keeping it a stack, Canelo, it was the first fight under TKO. It was. It was the first fight promoted by Dana White with Zuffa Boxing, whatever the fuck you want to call it. TKO, Zuffa, I don't know, whatever it's called. Blood Rush said the sanctioning bodies ain't going away. I think fighters will still have choices in this regard. TKO ain't just going to erase all the other sanctioning bodies. Well, they can't technically erase them, but what I'm saying is they're refusing. Dana White done said it out his own mouth. He's refusing to acknowledge them sanctioning bodies within his company. At TKO, we not acknowledging no WBC. We not recognizing no WBO, WBA, IBF. We ain't acknowledging shit. That's what he's saying. And the only belts that we fucking with is the Zuffa belt and the Ring Magazine. And our rankings will be based off of the Ring Magazine. Now, what if them Ring Magazines has people in their rankings that's not associated with TKO? Would you just eliminate them from y'all list? Like, what is it? Like, because y'all making it seem like y'all not going to collab with no fighter that's outside of the promotion. You're not dealing with no sanctioning bodies. Y'all ain't dealing with no promoters. It seemed like y'all motherfuckers is just going to rock with each other. Y'all just going to keep shit in-house. Just like how the UFC does. So how y'all going to use these Ring Magazine rankings when there's a possibility that a good amount of fighters on those rankings not going to be affiliated with TKO? Are they going to be ranked in your company and they just won't fight under your company? Like, what the fuck is going on? TKO is WWE. One of the dudes who, is helping run TKO, I think he's involved with the WWE. Yeah. Callum Walsh trash as fuck. I ain't really like his performance against Fernando Vargas. That's for sure. Fernando Vargas Jr., I believe. Yeah. Wasn't really feeling that. The Ali X slows down fights. What I'm concerned about is like it's a lot to be concerned with that for real, but I'm really not too fond of, fighters not having transparency. You know what I mean? Pretty much not giving a seat at the table. It's like, bro, these dudes, like, and I know it's cliche, they are putting their lives on the line. They are. Like, that's and I know that pisses some people, oh, you being dramatic. Bro, how are we being dramatic when 13 people on average get unalived in the boxing ring? One of the most violent, dangerous, harmful sports in the world right now. These dudes getting their brains beat out. Some of these dudes going to have to deal with Parkinson's when they get older, suffer from dementia. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things these guys are going to have to deal with, slurred speech and stuff like that. These are things, there's boxing legends right now that's living in nursing homes, bro. Wilfred Benitez is living in a nursing home in Chicago. The youngest world champion in boxing history, he's in a nursing home right now in Chicago, probably being given the bare minimum. And you're gonna sit around and tell these motherfuckers that it ain't their business what this fight generates? We're gonna give you this much money, take it or leave it. And they just had they had a whole payout structure. So it's like, regardless of how popular you are, flat rate. So I could be a top 15 fighter right along with you, but I could have 1 million more followers than you, but some way, somehow we getting paid the same. I'm selling more tickets than the guy. I'm selling more tickets than fighter B, but somehow me and him still getting paid the same. It's like, I don't know, bro. Shit don't make any sense to me. Said Conor McGregor himself became bigger than UFC and Dana purposely makes his stars less than. Yeah, it's very true. So I don't really want to talk too much about the Muhammad Ali, this whole Muhammad Ali X situation. I guess we'll continue to speak on it as more news comes out. But I actually wanted to show this real quick. Because I seen that there was some, debate about this list. And I'm going to go through the comments and hear what the people got to say as well. But this is the new Ring Magazine list at 154 pounds. Now, let's take a look at this. So, according to Ring Magazine, this is their rankings for the 154-pound division. Now, you got Virgil Ortiz Jr., number 1. Sebastian Fundora, number 2. Israel Madrimov, number 3. Bakra Murtazaliev, number 4. Number 5, Erickson Lubin. 6, Xander Zayas. 7, Jaron Ennis cracks the rankings. Brandon Adams, number 8. Jesus Ramos, number 9. And Abbas Barao is number 10. Now, what do I think of this list? I ain't really fucking with it, bro. I'm really not. There are some things that I would definitely change. First of all, Virgil Ortiz should not be number 1. I understand he beat Madrimov. I understand he beat Boachuk, but the fact that y'all got him ranked at number 1 when there's legit champions on this list is insane. Listen, Virgil Ortiz may very well beat Fundora. He probably can beat a Bachram. He probably can beat Barao. He probably can beat all the champions that currently hold titles in the division right now. That's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean he should be ahead of them. Champions should take the priority on any type of rankings list because that's what ultimately shows that you are the superior amongst the division. It goes to show that you're of the elite. You feel what I mean? Anonymous said, in my opinion, they're basing that off of who has fought on Riyadh cards. I mean, yeah. That was pretty much how the way they set up their awards. Remember when they had that award ceremony for like Fighter of the Year and Fighter of the Year, and bro, a lot of that shit was based off of motherfuckers who was fighting under Riyadh or was associated with Riyadh. Y'all serious say, I heard on Twitter that Boost and Virgil might happen on Cinco de Mayo weekend in Vegas. I heard that too. Now, who was one of the people that actually said that they'll fight on Cinco de Mayo weekend? Me. I said this shit not too long ago. I said I don't think it happens early 2026. They might just fight in May. They might fight on Cinco de Mayo weekend. And you want to know how I know I ain't tripping? Because Ree responded to that claim and was like, nah, bro, that's too far. Like, too far away in time. It's the date that makes the most sense. Floyd already done showed y'all. Canelo done already showed y'all what's the most important dates to fight on during boxing, and they both happen to be Mexican holidays. Cinco de Mayo weekend, Mexican Independence weekend. Like, I would not be surprised at all if Boots and Virgil fought in May in comparison to early 2026. That's just me. But let's look at this list right here. So Virgil Ortiz, number 1, he don't deserve to be number 1 in my opinion. Definitely at the top of this list, but not number 1 in my opinion. Sebastian Fundora, this is somebody who, was unified at one point in time, but I think amongst all the other champions, I think he has the most impressive wins. So I'll put Fundora number 1 for the time being. You know what I mean? Like, Fundora got Erickson Lubin on his resume. He got Tim Zhu. You know what I mean? Like, he got some good little, names on the list. I will probably put Fundora number 1. Now, the fact that Madrimov is number 3 on this list is absolutely disgusting. This is a man who's lost 2 fights in a row. You lost to Terrence Crawford. You lost to Virgil Ortiz. How are you number 3 on this list over Bakram Murtazaliev, who is the current IBF super welterweight champion of the world? So to be real, I would probably put, I'm going to have to rearrange this whole list, y'all. I'm going to have to show these niggas what it is for real. But Madrimov shouldn't be above any, if you want to put him up, who the fuck is he over on this list? You're not above Bakram. You're not. Lubin coming off of a win. Xander Zayas, he's a world champion. How is Madrimov over somebody who just won a world title? Jaron Ennis? No. Deron Ennis is coming up into the division, a former unified champion, and just be the top 10 dude. It's like you losing back to back, and you ain't been back since. Brandon Adams, I give him respect. He beat on Bohachuk, you know what I mean? Bohachuk probably would have been there if Brandon didn't fight him anyway. Jesus Ramos, number 9. I thought he was at middleweight. What's up with him? What he doing? Then Abbas Barao. The fact that somebody who has the motherfucking WBA world title at 154 is number 10 on the super welterweight rankings is crazy. How the fuck is Jesus Ramos over Abbas Barao? How the fuck is Brandon Adams above Abbas Barao? I ain't gonna lie. How the fuck is Boost over Abbas Barao? Like, that shit just goes to show the Ring Magazine don't really give a fuck about titles neither. They only care about their own. Abbas lost to Koke. Okay, but he's bounced back. He beat Yoenis Tellez, and he was elevated to the WBA full status champion at 154 pounds. You got to put some respect on his name, man. Got to put some respect on his name, bro. Definitely some nasty work on this rankings. Ramos shouldn't be on the list. I thought he was at 160. Ain't he about to fight Shane Mosley Jr.? Why is he on this list? I thought he made it clear he going up to 60. I thought he was, or is he going between both divisions? We got to figure this out because I don't think he should even be on here. So to be real, I would put Fundora number 1. Does Virgil go above any of the champions, y'all? Yeah, I heard that news about Ricky Hatton. I didn't really want to get into it too much, but yeah, they discovered that he unalived himself, man. So that's very unfortunate. That was very sad to hear. And for my people that's actually, going through something, please get help, bro. You got people in this world that love you. You know what I mean? Don't do anything impulsive that'll cause your parents to bury you or your loved ones to bury you, your wife to bury you. You know what I mean? If anything, you should be sticking around long enough where you're able to bury your parents. You know what I mean? Stay busy. You know what I mean? Meditate, speak positive thoughts into yourself. Be around good people. Exercise. Develop, find hobbies, bro. Talk. If you can't talk, if you feel like you can't talk to nobody or it's hard for you to open up, write shit down. You know what I mean? Like really, really do what you got to do to fight against it, bro. Don't never fall. Don't ever crumble to the system, man. You want to come out victorious, man. And it sucks that somebody who had as much fighting spirit as Ricky Hatton had been broken down to the point where he didn't want to be on earth anymore. That's depressing. That's very sad, bro. The man had kids. And now his kids are scarred for life because he made a mistake. Rest in peace to Ricky Hatton, man. And if y'all suffering, bro, please do what y'all need to do to get help, bro. It always gets better, bro. So, yeah, I was trying to avoid that conversation because that's very touchy. And I know Ricky Hatton done been, went through very bad stages of depression and dealt with drugs and alcohol and all that. So, but it seemed like Ricky Hatton was getting his bearings back together, going back to the gym, getting ready for his exhibition. And to hear that, that's very sad. You know what I mean? But anyways, not to, ignore Ricky Hatton, but, just to get back into the conversation, I don't think Virgil should be above any of the champions. I think we need to give champions their respect, bro. Like they got their world titles, whether they want it whether they was elevated, they did what they needed to do in order to secure, being a world champion. You feel what I mean? So I would definitely put Sebastian Fundora number one. And this ain't like who's the best ranking. We talking about who's been doing their thing in the division. I put Fundora number one. I would put Bakram Murtazaliev number two because that Tim Tszyu victory was a good one. Number three. Would you who would y'all put at number three? Abaz Barau or Xander Zayas? Because Xander Zayas looks like he's the more skilled fighter. He looks like the better fighter, but Abaz Barau, with him defeating Yoenis Telez, it might be a better victory than Xander Zayas' last opponent, Jorge Garcia Perez. But then he upset Charles Conwell. All right, so we're gonna put Xander number three. Xander number three, then that would put Abaz Barau. After that, I would not mind putting Virgil Ortiz there. So I would put Virgil Ortiz number five for until you beat a champion or until you get a world title. I'm not putting you at the top position. That's just, that's just what come with the game. You and your team gonna need to figure this shit out. Then after that, I probably put Erickson Lubin number six. Brandon Adams beat Boachuk. Should I put Brandon Adams ahead of Boots? I know Brandon Adams ain't better than Boots. I know he doesn't beat Boots, in my opinion. But a Boachuk win probably better than a Lima win right now. Barau has the better victory. He does. He made it look easy too. Yeah, he did make it look easy. Well, he outdogged him. What you mean 154? What you mean, anonymous? Virgil then Lubin. I think that's what I did, right? I did do that. Yeah, I might put Brandon Adams number 7, Boots number 8. Then I'll probably put Majimov number 9. Who the fuck can I fit in at number 10? Would that be let me see, who had motherfucking 154 right now? Shit. Number 10, probably put Boachuk at number 10. Probably put Boachuk. I'm not putting Jesus Ramos on here. You don't compete at 54 no more. I think I put Majimov at number 9. I put Majimov at number 9. Either Boachuk or Thurman. Man, I'm not. Man, that motherfucker only beat Brock Jarvis, cuz I ain't putting that motherfucker number 10. If he beat Fundora though, he could crack the top 5 easy. Yeah. I'm putting Boachuk at number 10. So this was off top. So I'll probably do Fundora. So we're going to do Fundora, Bakram, Xander Zayas, Barau, Virgil, Lubin. Okay, so we had 7. Brandon Adams, Jerron Ennis, who the fuck I'm missing? Who I put it? Israel Madrimov and Bohachuk. I might just flip fucking Bohachuk and Madrimov to be real. He definitely missed weight against Mike Fox, and I thought Mike Fox beat him. Knock Bohachuk down too. They be doing Mike Fox dirty, bro. They did him dirty with that Maestre fight. Imagine they would have given him that win against Maestre and Bohachuk. That would have been fucking dope as fuck, bro. Josh Kelly, nah. Not really. He ain't do shit, brother, in my opinion. He ain't be nobody notable for me to be like, oh, there he goes. He had a chance to fight Boots, though. But I had Mike Fox on the channel. I've known Mike Fox for years before I was even on YouTube. He fought in Philly a whole lot. Like he was signed with a promoter, Marshall Kaufman, at the time, who constantly did fights in Philly and Bethlehem and shit like that. So I seen a whole lot of Mike Fox, bro. Mike Fox is the man. Very, very, very cool individual. Always was good people. Always. That's that. If anybody deserves to have some type of spotlight in boxing, it's Mike Fox. His whole family cool. He said, "Chill, bro. Vargas Jr. is not that bad." Oh man, that Maestre robbery was diabolical. That's a fact. I couldn't, but bro, I watched that shit and I was like what? I couldn't believe what I was watching. Yeah. Wait. So I might just I might just put Madrimov. I might put Madrimov number 10. I put Boachuk 9. I think that's what I did, right? It was like, all right, like Boachuk coming off a loss, but Madrimov coming off of 2 L's. And like, who Madrimov beat for real? Who did Israel Madrimov beat for real? I gotta do some tightening up. Pause. Who did Madrimov beat? I know he only got 13 fights, but he beat Karbinov. I remember that. He stopped him. But it's like, ain't none of these dudes notable. Yeah, Madrimov. I wouldn't mind moving Madrimov up the list, but he got to get back in the winning column. That's all. Yeah, Bella, I understand. You said Boachuk lost to Virgil too, though. That's why it's a little tricky. I understand that. But those are the loss that Boachuk took to Virgil and the loss that Madrimov took to Virgil, in my opinion, 2 different losses. You know what I mean? Like, with Boachuk, motherfuckers was talking about he won. With Israel, niggas was like, damn, like, Virgil beat that ass. Virgil dogged him. You know what I mean? Boychuk was giving Virgil knockdowns and shit. Vladimir Hernandez is a solid name, but all them boys email. I gotta blame that on the sanctioning bodies, man. They could easily have motherfuckers fight for the belt, but they want their money now. They want their money now. They don't want to wait until somebody win the belt. They already got in mind who they want to get that belt to, so they can keep. You know what I mean? They need that money now. As long as that belt vacant, they not getting paid. So like, let's go ahead and just give you this belt right now, brother. This nigga Canelo lost. Niggas don't even know what he about to do. And all these sanctioning bodies got him ranked number 1. Like, let the nigga breathe. The fuck? That's exactly why TKO don't want them in their league. Elaborate, brother, if you don't mind telling me. George said I was going. Honestly, I thought Boychuk beat her. You ain't the only one. I remember my gym being in an uproar. Like, I remember walking in. It was a Monday. I remember walking in. And it was like, yo, you seen that shit? Yo, White Bull's fucking Virgil up. I'm like, yo, I said I seen the same shit you saw, bro. What? I can't believe they did Boychuk like that. Dust 22 says sanctioned bodies ain't shit. I've been one of the main people saying that, brother, but guess what? All these niggas ain't shit. That's the reality. Now, I would rather deal with a sanctioning body with the Muhammad Ali Act where fighters aren't, getting fucked over and being exploited and underpaid. I'd rather deal with that situation rather than having a change in the Muhammad Ali Act. Had these, UBOs around here, and they underpaying these fighters, not giving them any transparency at the table whatsoever. You know what I mean? And, them monopolizing boxing. Like, I would rather deal with the sanctioning bodies than deal with this shit that they trying to put together right now, brother. That's me, though. Shout out to the boy Islam is Truth 76 with the $20 super chat. He said, just want to show your channel some thanks for the work you do. Always on point, man. Thank you very much, brother. That means a lot to me. The dopest shit be when people recognize me in person. That'd be the crazy part. I walked into this gym called 365 in Philly not too long ago, and it was like, yo, young boy looking at me like this. And I'm like, oh shit, what happened, bro? I'm like, you be on YouTube. I'm like, yeah. He was like, you Mazuma TV? I'm like, yeah, bro, that's me. He's like, bro, you be knowing what you talking about, man. I don't be commenting, but I be watching. So it's always dope to, you know what I mean, I get a lot of negativity too. So it's always dope for people to, come through and show love, man. Shout out to the boy Islam is Truth. Speaking of Islam, I've been having a lot of my Muslim brothers reach out to me. Yeah, I mean, they trying to get me to go to what's it called, brother? No disrespect. I'm not too educated on Islam. They want me to go to the masjid. Yeah, I mean, and they, you know what I mean. They want me to learn about the mosque. All right, my apologies. See, I'm messing up already. I grew up in a Catholic household. You know what I mean? So, and even then, I wasn't. I'm really not too knowing about Catholicism neither. So forgive me. But yeah, you said fighters. So Dust, you saying fighters still getting fucked over? So, all right. So if fighters still getting fucked over, Dust. If you saying fighters getting fucked over regardless, then what's the point of changing shit around? If fighters getting like based off of what you saying, you said fighters still getting fucked over. Okay, cool. I've seen fighters get fucked over. That's true. So why would change the script up to clearly get fighters fucked over even more? Because like fighters get fucked over. Yes, there's corruption in boxing. Yes, we see it all the time. We see fighters fall victims to the politics all the time. Right? Cool. So with that being known, why would you then conform to this new law that's gonna fuck fighters over even more? Then on top of that, at least with the current situation we in, a fighter could, you know, see what the fights are generating, see what the gates is generating. You know what I mean? There's transparency. There's actual transparency between the promoter and the fighter if the fighter, requests. With this new law they trying to put in place, we won't get no transparency at all whatsoever. Can't audit these promoters with that new law. He said Bakram overhyped. Really? I do think that motherfuckers don't want to fight him though. Like there is niggas who definitely won't look his way. I don't think Boots is one of them. I think Boots is definitely. I think he really is gonna fight Bakram. I think that's gonna end up being the fight for real. The way Bakram been popping this shit, I think Boots gonna pull his card. That's what I think. But yeah, Bud was never signed with PBC, so they don't have to show your shit. But I bet you if Earl asked for it, and Bud took Top Rank to court for like racism and shit like that. I don't think that was a money situation. Breach of contract. Failed Spence fight. Racial bias and disparaging comments. G tatted up. What up? He said, what about Edwin and his manager? You talking about Samson Lukowitz? Samson was definitely listen, these niggas be getting fucked over, but the thing is, they have a right to they have a right to audit their promoters. See, it says boxers are federally protected. They have a federally protected right to financial disclosures from their promoters. It's established under the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act. So, listen, I heard of promoters scraping shit off the top. You feel what I mean? But if they go to the source, if they go to the promoter or whatever, be like, yo, how much, what's the budget for this fight? Like, legally, they have to know. Like, they have to disclose that. So Edwin could have figured that out on his own if he was, requesting to see the books. But he found out through social media. That was the crazy part. And listen, that I've heard of that happening behind the scenes a lot. Like I said, there's corruption everywhere. You know what I mean? I think TKO would just intensify that corruption based off of what they're advocates of. You know what I mean? Imagine that shit, bro. That's why you gotta be more hands. I bet you Edwin don't be hands on with his business. He just let niggas do the business for him. You know what I mean? I bet you if he was more hands on with his business, was actually on the phone calls with his managers and his promoters, or he would have a better idea. Like, can you imagine that shit, bro? Imagine being offered $2 million for a fight, right? Well, imagine, let's say you about to fight for a world title. You about to fight Keyshawn Davis, right? And Top Rank got $2 million waiting for you. So Top Rank tell your promoter there's $2 million in the pot for your boy. And he do some snake shit. And he tell you, yo, they offering you $800,000. They offering you $800,000 for Keyshawn Davis. And to you, that might be the biggest payday of your career. So you like, bet, let's do it. Whole time you're supposed to get $2. So this nigga scrapes $1.2 million off the top and gives you $800,000. Then this nigga gets a percentage of that $800,000. You fucking snake piece of shit. So let's say he get 20% of your $800,000. 20% of $800,000. I believe that's $160,000. So that nigga just took that 1.2 off the top. Then that, bro, I get frustrated even thinking of that shit. So 1.2 million plus the fucking 160,000. All of the day's work. Oh my God. Bro, listen. The shit that I would do if I figured that out, that's what be happening, bro. I'm telling you. Because like Edwin De Los Santos had to cut Samson a percentage because it was a cross promotion. Well, they get paid their percentage regardless, but if you go to another network, that's another thing, Tego. We're not even talking about taxes. So let's say if a motherfucker get 800,000. Oh my God. Bro, the fucking anger, bro. I think I would lose my freedom. So at 800,000, this motherfucker probably gonna come home with like, let me see. Because what Mikey Garcia told y'all. Mikey Garcia told y'all when you make $1 million, you really only got 300,000. So you really only coming home after paying everybody, bro. You probably only coming home with 30% of what the fuck you make, right? So what the fuck is 30% of 800,000? You probably you coming home with fucking $240,000. 240 racks. That's what you coming home with. like, nigga, what? You gotta pay your corner, you gotta pay your manager if you got one, your lawyer, your promoter. Oh my God. The feds need their bread. Nigga. Listen, bro. If y'all niggas not hands on with y'all business, bro. If y'all niggas ain't hands on with y'all business, they'll fuck you over, bro. Just like if you got an accountant, if you not paying attention to what that nigga doing with your accounts, them niggas will leave with your money, bro. Trust me. You won, but you still lost. Facts. Facts. Well, Mikey Garcia, I'm trying to tell y'all, for any of y'all who plan on become professional or any of that, bro, I love talking about this type of shit because I feel like boxers should be privy to this. That's why a lot of boxers go broke, because when they get $1 million, they think they millionaires. You're not. If you listen to what I'm telling y'all. If you make $1 million payday, you are not a millionaire. For you to come home with $1 million, bro, you would damn near have to make $4 million for you to come home with one. Based off of what Mikey said. And I think Russ, the rapper Russ, Russ, I think he said the same shit. Every million you make, you probably only getting 300,000 of it. Like, that's yours. That's the shit that we in right now. J. Cole got a whole song named Brackets. I don't know if y'all listened to it. It was on his the fuck is it? I forgot what song, I forgot what album that shit was on. But he got a song named Brackets. And he talks about taxes and saying how frustrating it is to pay taxes and how we don't even have a say so and where the fuck this money goes. And yeah, we working so hard just to get fucked. Pause. Like, that's a real thing, bro. His last album. So what was it? I don't even know what Brackets was on. I thought it was on KOD or some shit, but I don't think it was on KOD. Yeah, it was on KOD. Yup. That's what Tio was saying. Dude couldn't clear him out. Yeah, because he was making like 1 point something. That album was slept on, brother. Yes, it was. J. Cole got a lot of slept on music, bro. Especially his mixtapes. Truly Yours, Friday Night Lights, The Warm Up. It was a few of them, bro. Crit could rap for sure. I like my conscious rappers, bro. I do. I really do. J. Cole had a song one time I'll never forget. It's called Cousins. And when he rapped that verse, I literally was like, is this nigga watching me? I was like, bro. What the fuck? Like, this nigga sound like he literally said bar for bar the exact situation that I went through in my life with my own blood. I was like, what the fuck? Like, crazy shit, bro. Like, J. Cole, that's why he'll always be my favorite rapper all time. It's not because he, the greatest. He got a case for being one of the greatest, but it's not because he's the greatest. It's because, like, the shit that he talked about, I understood. Like, I went through that shit. like directly. He got a song called Breakdown. If any of y'all niggas ever had like uh like toxic parents or like, you know, shit, listen to Breakdown. Listen to Breakdown by J. Cole and tell me y'all don't feel that shit. Yeah, 1985, Ralph, I know what you're talking about. Cole is your favorite rapper until Kendrick dropped To Pimp a Butterfly. That was a dope album. Kendrick got some dope albums, bro. He definitely got some dope albums. One of my favorite songs from Kendrick Lamar is that song. It's an old John too. I love the song "Blessed" with him and Schoolboy Q. Old John, but then he got one called "Cut You Off." Man, that was one of the hardest Kendrick. Fuck Kendrick Lamar. That's one of the hardest songs I felt. Period. He got a song called "Cut You Off," bro. Just listen to what he talking about. Oh my God. Like the way he broke down his family. He had like 3 different verses and it was for like 3 different situations. Oh man. Kendrick is the man. He said Cole, Nip, Kendrick, etc. all seeds of Tupac Shakur. I feel like J. Cole cut more from the Nas cloth. With a bit with some influence from early Kanye. That's what J. Cole remind me of. Like early, before Kanye went crazy, I think he a bit Kanye influence with some Nas in him. I don't think he necessarily Tupac, but he definitely got some Nas in him for sure. Like if you listen to Nas and you listen to Cole, you could tell Cole was studying Nas on his come up for sure. Kendrick be on his slick Rick. Yeah. Kendrick is a great storyteller too. Cole's a great storyteller. He that knocked the hustle John with his rapper Kaz. He went crazy on that John. Then he got a song with what's that? Yo Gotti? Is it Yo Gotti? He got a song called like Cold Blooded or some shit like that with Yo Gotti. Went crazy on that John too. Cole features he be fucking going up for sure. He made that false prophet song about yeah, but like a lot of like, and some of his mixtapes was a lot of Kanye beats and shit like that. He was influenced by early Kanye for sure. But yeah. What time is it? 12:26. All right. My fault, y'all, for the rapid conversations and shit. Y'all got any last boxing questions before we get up out of here? We'll try to get up out of here in a few minutes. All 3 adolescents is fire. Yes, sir. That's Forest Hills Drive. That same, bro, that was such 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Mind you, I became the biggest Cole fan after like a little bit before Sideline Story dropped. So before his debut album, my stepfather put me on to J. Cole. My stepfather had this big ass work van and he had Sirius XM radio. And that's when that song Who That was coming out. I'm like, yo, who is that? Like literally, who that? He's like, that's some boy named J. Cole. He just signed with Jay-Z, blah, blah. So I'm like, bet. So we had a computer in my mom's living room. So I was just listening to that song. I was like, yo, this shit fire. Like, this nigga tough. I'm like, wait, I thought he was from New York, but he was from North Carolina. So then I played a few of his different songs. I liked all them Jones, but what really got my attention what got my attention was Lights Please. I was like, yo, this shit. I'm like, yo, this nigga the truth. What the fuck? And then yeah, bro. Then I was a big Drake fan before that. Like Thank Me Later, Drake, and that was the first phase I went through as a teenager with like favorite rappers. Drake was my first favorite rapper. You know what I mean? The what was that? Too Far Gone, Thank Me Later. Nigga, I remember I deleted all the songs on my mom's iPod. I remember I took all the songs off my mom's iPod and just filled them up with Drake songs, bro. She was pissed. My mom was gonna beat my motherfucking ass. But yeah, bro, I was then I started listening to Cole, Lights Please, and then I started listening to the mixtapes, and after that, it was a wrap. Ever since then, J. Cole been my favorite rapper, and that's when I was like 13, bro. 7th grade, I was like 13. I'm 27 now. I've been a J. Cole fan for more than half my life, bro. Real shit. Lil Wayne and Gucci was your first favorite artist. Carter 3, Lil Wayne had me in a headlock. I ain't gonna lie. Gucci, I never really listened to Gucci all like that. Like Philly niggas don't really play Gucci all like that. For real, for real. He said there's so much you can do with this channel that everyone else ain't doing. I made a separate channel, bro. So that was where I was gonna do like my reactions. I want to keep this specifically boxing. You know what I'm saying? Um, but for my other channel, I want to do like social experiments. Where like I even do like little pranks and shit like that. Then I want to do like reactions. I want to have that to show more of my personality. But yeah, that's what I want to do. Oh yeah, damn, y'all niggas bringing back some core memories, bro. Oh, you talking boxing? Shit, bro. You know what it be, bro? It's this job that I got outside the gym. That's what really be killing my time, bro. That take like 8 hours. That should take between 8 to 9 hours of my time a day, and I only literally got time at the gym to train my fighters. Cause I get to the gym at like 5:36, and then I'm there till 8. The gym closed at 8, so it's tough. But you know what I mean. God willing, I get a better job or whatever the case is, and, or opportunity opens up where you know what I mean. I could be in the gym full time. Then that's what it take, bro. If it wasn't for that, bro, my channel would be way bigger than what it is right now. Terrence, hit my DM if you got some ideas, bro. Hit my DM. I'm always open. We was just talking the other day, right? Or was that somebody else? Ghost 787 said I'm late, bro. Salute everyone. Shout out to the boy Ghost 787. He said, "Did you hear Bakr Mortazaliev's article on Ring Magazine talking about Jerron?" Yeah, I didn't read the article, but I saw the quote where he was like, "Yo, like if you wanted to fight somebody, like if you wanted to fight me, you didn't have to fight Lima or some shit like that." That's Bakr popping this shit, bro. Boo's gonna have to do something about that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like if Brau caught up with Xander and Virgil not rumbling you early, like you might have to go see that nigga first, bro. You know what I mean? Like that nigga talking crazy. And I'm getting a little pissed off by that nigga. I ain't gonna lie. Bakram's starting to piss me off. I've been ignoring the nigga. But I ain't gonna lie, that nigga's starting to grind my gears. Real shit. I might want to see that nigga get put in the plastic, bro. Yeah. He out here talking greasy. It's like, bro, all right, my nigga. Like, what is we doing? Cause you like Bakra making me want, you know what I mean, see him get packed. Cause this motherfucker ain't even got a do he got a title defense yet? Or like I'm bugging. Like, do this nigga got a title defense yet? What's this nigga doing? Where Bakram corny ass at? Motherfucker ain't even defense. Man, this nigga got one title defense. Man, you better go to fucking head, bro. I thought he wanted the belt off Tim Zoo. He got it to fight before Tim. Man, Bakram talking like he this decorated ass nigga, bro. Oh my God, Boots have pecked the shit out your slow ass, nigga. Stop playing. We gonna make your punk ass come to Philly, bro. You keep talking, man. You better stay in your hotel room too. I'm about to really study. Nigga, don't make me join Boots Camp and give niggas the recipe on how to fry you. Don't make Mazuma TV get involved in your downfall, nigga. You know what I mean? I get the hotel room right next to yours, be making all this noise. Stop playing with me. If I send some, I ain't even gonna say that. Don't make me send some 304s. Don't make me send some cold thoughts over to your hotel room and fuck your night up, nigga. Stop playing with me. I will really ruin any chance that you got in beating Boots. I would fucking interfere with that, bro. I will send whores to your front door. Beat niggas up from your camp. Everything you eat gonna be nasty. Bro, I'm gonna fuck your whole day up. You try to get an IV sent to your hotel room, we taking the nurse over to our room. We doing all that. Like, fuck out of here, bro. Don't make Mazuma TV get involved, bro. I'm telling you, stop running your mouth, nigga. Go do a motherfucking, go fight somebody in your sanctioning body. You keep calling Boo's name, bro. I'm gonna have to give him a call. I'm gonna have to pull up over to Philly's next champ. Like, yo, what is we doing to this nigga? Real rap. Like, make this motherfucker come to Philly to fight. You want to fight so bad, come to Philly. I mean, do what Brian Norman and them punk asses wasn't trying to do. I'm about to be on my Shannon the Cannon shit. Where you go, I go, champ. Where you eat, I eat, champ. Thanks, champ. Fuck they talking about? Nigga pissing me off, boy. Bakram stay popping his shit like some, but be pissing me off. Niggas don't even be responding to him. Niggas be letting the nigga talk. I said that's like that one nigga that was in the classroom. I smacked the shit out of everybody in here, and everybody be quiet. Like, nigga, who? Who you smacking, nigga? Me? Moi? Shit. See, I'm the type that motherfucker say that. Shit. That's all you gonna hear. I was that nigga. Man, I smacked the shit out of everybody in here. Shit. You ain't talking to me. You not. You better be talking to them niggas over there. They ain't talking to me. Nigga, you smacked the shit out of everybody except Mark. Shit. Niggas out they motherfucking mind. Bakram like, who? Nigga in the middle of the street. Who want the smoke? And everybody like, oh, that's that nigga Bach, man. Bach. That nigga Bach tripping, dog, man. Don't fuck with that nigga Bach, man. Nigga, that nigga put Tim out the other day, man. I ain't never seen Tim go out like that, man. That nigga right there, man. I'm gonna stay my ass in the house. Let me go ahead and shut this window real quick. Nigga, Boots, if you don't, do you hear this nigga Boots? I know you don't be watching, you don't be listening to niggas like that, but This nigga real loud. Baccarat real loud, Boots. Send this nigga to, put this nigga, and get this nigga the fuck out of here. Like Baccarat out here giving Debo vibes. I ain't gonna lie. You out here giving Debo vibes. Man, Boots, you better go ahead and hit this nigga with that brick. Nigga Baccarat, which one of you niggas? He said niggas no. Which one of you niggas want the smoke? And everybody like, no. Nigga. Shit. You out your motherfucking mind. Boots, you better come off that motherfucking porch and put the beats on him. Cause this nigga ain't gonna stop unless somebody fuck him up. Like the old man from Friday, yeah. No. What I told you about messing with these peoples? That was Kaz the Zoo with his son Tim Zoo. What I told you about messing with these people? That's my bike, punk. That's my bike. Sent that nigga Tim Zoo packing. Yo, Ralph, I beat you to it. All right, bet. All right, Terrence. I got you. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love. This was a great live, a great entertaining live, to be honest with you, man. So if you appreciated this content right here, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you'll know every time I go live. You feel what I mean? We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,200 mark. About to hit that 3,300 mark in due time. Shout out to the Nation of the Mile for making this possible. We do this on a daily basis. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To currently chop up what's going on in the sport of boxing. You feel what I mean? I'll be back at y'all with another live tomorrow. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Terrence Smith, Ghost 787, J Cash, Ralph, Anonymous. Everybody that's been contributing to the channel. And shout out to the boy Islam is True 76 with the big super chat. You feel what I mean? I appreciate that very much, man. Until then, I hope you have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.